project was open to everyone in our year. We all had to do a presentation of why we wanted to be part of the programme and come to Vancouver Paralympics, and only 5 people were chosen.
My name is Joe Mason.
My name is Kimberly Nyamundera.
Hi, my name's Jake.
My name's Renee.
My name is Claudia.
We had a lot of training days beforehand. For example, we had training on how to set up our own blog with a guy from a newspaper.
So when we go out there, we look more professional and we know what we're doing.
Hi, it's Jake. This is my video blog for the second day of training. We've just finished a workshop with a guy called MC Breeze, talking about identity and writing our own poems or raps about our partner. So I was working with Renee, so I did a poem about her.
I can't even just say one thing I'm excited about. It's the whole being in Canada, meeting people, watching the events.
Yeah, I'm really excited now. It feels really kind of real now, because before it was kind of like, oh, it's quite a long time away, but now it feels like it's just going to happen quite soon.
Here we are at Chicago Plain Airport, and we're just about to get onto our second plane, which will take us to Vancouver. We've all been given an individual flip cam, which is just a small video recorder, and it's really handy just videoing little things that you see on your travels.
Of the Century Plaza Hotel
in Vancouver. By the end of the week we're going to have seen so many things that we want to capture. So
I was worried about the editing.
Here I am at the Harbour Centre, and it's a big lookout tower across the whole of Vancouver City. It used to be the tallest building in the whole of Vancouver. It's still a wonderful view that you can catch all the mountains in the distance, and you get all the skyscrapers and all the big buildings and commercial sites.
Londoners are always quite busy and tense because everyone's quite wrapped up in what they're doing. We want to make a good impression to the rest of the world. We need to make our city more presentable.
I'm just typing up my first thoughts and feelings about day one of the trip and kind of the things we've been doing and stuff. So I quite like kind of the way that blogs work. You can put quite a lot of detail in them, and it's quite nice kind of painting a picture for people who are reading it. I want to know now kind of how London is going to look and how it's going to change for 2012.
Whistler. Vancouver to Whistler sees the rise of the mountains and the cool quip in the air. Bumps and turns shape the narrowing road, and the rain pelts on the windows. Classic pop, the radio streams and chimes in time to the driver's right on. Watching the alpine skiing, we cheered up and on. Arthur, Graham and Martin inspired us with tales of struggle and strife, and with the drizzle and cold behind us, we gave the final chant, GB, GB.
Okay, my name is Patrick Jarvis. I do Paralympic sport, but I'm also lucky enough to be on the International Paralympic Committee governing board. The thing I think they can take away from Whistler, Vancouver is the engagement and having fun.
He was really nice and friendly, and he complimented us on the questions.
Better than the meeting I got here.
Thank you very much.
I am Sarah Hunter, and I am a wheelchair tennis player. I represent Canada in wheelchair tennis in the quad division. And I also play worldwide regularly. I go to England a couple times a year.
What do you enjoy most about your playing wheelchair tennis?
Well, I thoroughly enjoy the competition. I am competitive by nature. I like to win.
What would you say that London 2012 could do to kind of make their Paralympics accessible for everyone and really enjoyable for everyone?
I look forward to 2012. I think London's going to do a remarkable job. I mean, I think they just have. It seems like there's a little bit of that fever already. Whenever I talk to a Londoner, they seem to be just really excited about having the Paralympics. I think the biggest key is that to a Paralympic athlete going to a Paralympic Games is that we're treated with respect. I think what I hope is that they focus on what in the opening ceremonies in Vancouver that they pushed, and that was one inspires many.
This is CTV News at 5.
Welcome to CTV News.
Also visiting from London are some high school students who are here to learn about what it's like to host the Olympics and Paralympics. The 5 students spent part of the day at Britannia Secondary in Vancouver meeting other young people and hearing about their Olympic experiences. The trip is being led by an organization that supports creative learning. The teens are using social media to report back to their peers in the UK ahead of London's Summer Olympics in 2012.
One of the things that I found that was quite interesting was the people that I interviewed. They both were quite pessimistic and not that up for the games really before it was coming to. They kind of saw it as it was kind of taking funding away from other more important places. But they said that by the end of the games and during it was kind of like it was just really fun.
All the kids we're with now, they're all from a similar sort of group that we're doing, but they live in Vancouver. And unlike our school, even though we know each other quite well, they're all from all other schools around Vancouver who all applied for it, and they all got in. And they're basically doing what we're doing, blogging the trip, and they sound like they're having as much fun as we are.
My name's Christina Adams, and I'm the Manager for Education Programs at VANOC, which is the Vancouver Organizing Committee for the 2010 Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games.
Was the use of multimedia important in your education programs?
One of the big reasons is that we wanted to reach all Canadian teachers and therefore all of their students, and then anyone outside of Canada as well.
I'm the director of the Cultural Olympiad in London, so I'm working on a festival of cultural events that will happen in 2012 in the run-up to the Olympic Games. As with the Olympic and the Paralympic Games, young people are at the heart of the festival that we need to arrange, and also at the heart of the legacy. So we have 2 things to think of. Firstly, how do we plan events that will be exciting for young people? And secondly, what is there that we can do that will mean that in the years after the Cultural Olympiad, there's a legacy. So we're leaving something that will be real for young people. And actually that's something that I think Vancouver has not been that great at, but I'd like your views on it.
I've really enjoyed it. I think it's quite nice seeing the kind of like the old and the new kind of mixed together, like as well as Canadian culture, world culture as well. It's kind of interesting seeing similarities and differences between all of that.
To be honest, I didn't know much about Canada. I thought, especially Vancouver, and now that we've come here, I've learned loads of new things.
If we use a worldwide theme, I think everyone would feel more a part of it.
We can show the world that anywhere can be diverse, because London especially is one of the most diverse places in the world. So when people from maybe less diverse backgrounds come to London and for the Olympics, and they'll see how diverse it is. I think volunteers is what gets people, especially happy volunteers like the people around here.
Because we met like a couple of volunteers that night we went to the curling, and they were really happy to be part of it, and they were like talking about what like a historical event it is and how helpful they've been, talking about how the volunteers have really made the games.
Yeah, but though Vancouver's really nice, we can still in London play to our strengths. So like the architecture and stuff, they're really nice. We've got really nice buildings and stuff. So it'll be different, but it'll still be good.
I think British people will be proud, like that everyone's going to come to Britain for the Olympics.
London to Vancouver, a tale of 5 friends. Tears stained the faces of the ones who let us go as it drizzled dismally in Vancouver. Home was a city that reflected our own. And we were hesitant, feeling a weight on our shoulders that only we could carry, conquering together like familiar strangers. Disregarding curt, polite nods, we leaped, settling somewhere between the phonograms and banter. We worked because we gelled, and the weight that had dragged us down so terribly felt like nothing more than a hearty joke between 5 friends. We bustled and blurred through the days and nights, showered with pins we cherished our new currency. It was our world, shaped with the buzz of our national debut and the spirit that was so Canadian. Happy were we to be a part of such a journey. London to Vancouver and back was home in each and every way.